Okay. So we got to start it off on the rip, though. How dope does Elden Ring look right now? Like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't want to, I don't want to jinx it, but come on, man.
We're gonna jinx it. It's
It
gonna happen.
looks
It's ridiculous.
so good.
I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely one of those.
So
Most video
good.
games are sitting here like, okay, open world seems to just be that thing. It's that magic that Skyrim and Oblivion.
That's magic.
And I don't want to set it up for some failure now. But one of the concerns I'm going to have is, and now I like it. It's going to
How
be one of
dare you,
those
sir.
hide your phone,
Hide
prevent
your
yourself from
wives.
looking at the internet.
Because
Yeah,
they're
basically,
raping
because it's
everyone
going to be
anyway.
really tempting to be like Dex Bowstaff Best Build Day 2 or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
and
of course.
It'll tell you to
Of
run
course.
to quadrant 4375 of the map.
Yep.
Jump on this pillar,
To
kill the
find...
crow lady to get her sword.
Oh, God.
and
Not this
profit.
again.
So I'm a little concerned. It's gonna be one of those.
I was waiting for you to say bird pussy stonks.
We already been through bird pussy stonks. Check out the Patreon if you have no idea what we're talking about. But that bird pussy going to the moon, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Anyways,
God.
so concern number one. It's gonna
Okay.
be really hard because they've already
Sure.
showed it. Like it was part of the the video they showed us. Hiding in a corner, there's a door that leads to secret, cool, random shit that's gonna give you a unique items.
Yeah.
It's perfect. That's textbook Bloodborne Souls in a nutshell.
Was
There's
what
a
it
ton
should
of
be.
bullshit items that have no value,
Yep.
but every man's trash is another man's treasure. It's wonderful. Bravo. I think
The
they're setting themselves
more
up.
you know.
So
Anyway,
concern
continue.
number one is it's going to be real hard to be purist. This is definitely going to be one of those of like, steal my
more.
phone, keep it far away from me because I don't want to be going to Soulsopedia or whatever they call themselves, Morty.
Investasouls.net.
Invest at Souls. Actually, no.
Next
So that's concern number
cryptocurrency, souls.
So like that's concern number one. And some Dark Souls games are known for punishing the crap out of you if you don't go online every once in a while. Case in point, Dark Souls 2. You're going into this boss and you're fighting this snake lady in a pool of poison. And you're just going to die. You're on the clock. You're not able to play the patient game that you need to. And it's ridiculously difficult. You hop online and you find out there's a way to drain the pool of poison. Perfect example. So it's very difficult.
Yeah,
and
but
also
that's
you can just get
lame.
fucking lost. And I completely agree. But
That's
you know,
so
how many
lame.
hours? Anyways, the point being, I am a little concerned that the game is going to become odious if it's not doing its normal Souls thing, and you want to look online to be like, for fuck's sake, I've been fighting Snake Lady for 3 weeks. I must be doing something wrong, which you
Right.
were. You didn't know about the burning down the windmill or whatever. So that's problem number one. I'm concerned the temptation
This is only
of the
stuff
internet.
that people who play Souls games would understand. They'd be like, burning down the windmill. You're like, yeah.
You
if
gotta
burn
burn down the windmill so you don't get killed by the snake lady in the poison vat. It's a first grade SpongeBob. But anyway, so that's problem number one. Problem number two, open world games are really hard. You've got to find that
Souls
perfect
games,
butter
yeah.
zone of forced exploration with death claws and cazadors and making sure we feel good going down the path we want to. Throwing out some New Vegas references. If we're able to, you know, spam farm, run to a more difficult area, blah, 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 that should be allowed. And I want you to be able to. I don't want you to just walk into a zone and get absolutely destroyed like
Sure.
in Souls games. But they're going to have to balance that pretty well. Otherwise, all of that open world feel is really just going to be, you must go this way, you must go this way, you must go this way, the end. So, concern number two.
Okay.
The only other concern I have is it's very difficult. We've seen Nintendo try it with
Right.
the new Legend of Zelda. We've seen Fallout 4 just flop. Having a compelling open world game without you having to create your own enjoyment, because you
Right.
can't just wander around, explore random things and kill shit and have a good time. But this is from software. This is what we've been waiting 2 years for. This should
Yep.
not be a game where we have to get a little drunk to enjoy the exploration.
Oh, I feel like we would just keep dying if that's all we did.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to Outcast. Yeah, I was like, we'd love to play this game a little drunk because it just wasn't quite good enough on the open
not
exploration.
Outcast.
Outward.
Yeah, Outcast is the
Outward.
hip hop rap group. So where it's like, I know you like to think yo shit don't stink, but lean a little bit closer, see them roses really smell like souls. Anyway, continue.
My man's singing.
That's
anyway,
right.
so back to the point. It's got some really big shoes to fill. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be worth our money. If this was 2000, I'd be excited to sit outside for a midnight pre-release and all that goodness.
Oh,
and
you remember those
software.
days? You remember those days at the GameStop? Oh,
I'm old. We're old.
There's nothing
We're
else
sitting
like
here
that.
like I liked when we got to visit other humans. Every Zoomer just had a heart attack of going out in public and saying hi.
Oh, see, I was
But
just
anyway.
thinking like we saw like neck beards out in public. Like that's
great.
something that the Zoomers will never understand. They will never get to experience. That's the only time where people weren't raging.
So I mean, it looks phenomenal. I am very excited for it.
Yeah.
Also, normally in Souls games, they're very humdrum. Like, oh, I'm gonna build my knife build. Yeah, grab a knife, hooray! You put some points in luck, hooray! Whatever. You get a couple of spells, hooray! You get a big axe and some big armor, hooray!
Okay.
Bro, they were shooting out kamikaze lightning bolts. They were turning their hands into dragon heads and incinerating bitches.
I've never seen magic look that good. Like they actually made it like a cool class, which is
they
awesome.
had some style. They had some style. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, I honestly think they finally said, you know what? We can still be hard and make you feel like a badass too. Because a lot of if you go back and play like the original Dark Souls, you'd be surprised how easy it is. It finally like beat us into fighting shape. If you went and played like Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 and then went and played Demon Souls, it would be easy, easier. So it's one of those things where I think they've realized it's like, okay, the hardcores are already going to be hardcore. We might as well let them feel good about it, because a lot of the games just turned into, okay, what's my biggest spell? Okay, great soul arrow or great soul blast or spear or lance or whatever it's called. And it's the same thing you've been doing the whole damn game. I use my rod, the blue thing comes out and slays my enemies. Now it's a bigger rod and it's a bigger blue thing.
Yep.
And that was just kind of it. It was pretty boring. And you really had to like scrape and try, and then they weren't even that good. It was a pain. You did not have a lot of growth or evolution in your character. It was just a bigger rod and a bigger blue thing. This shit has me excited. If this is what they're showing us day -1, holy crap. What are they hiding in the shadows for the... I mean, honestly, this is, we're in that not great mode where we're sitting here and we're like, please, dear God, actually be relevant game content. Don't just show us the 3 best things. Kind of like to pick on Dragon Age for a second. Dragon Age Inquisition, their videos.
Oh, no.
All of their intros were like, we're gonna show you the 3 best things, and then we're gonna bam.
That's the worst game to.
Well, that was one of the big failures where they showed us very little. They showed us just enough to be like, behold, our game's phenomenal, and that was it. And then it ran out of stuff.
It was beautiful.
Assassin's Creed fell into this mistake as well.
It was a beautiful game. I'll admit that. It was very pretty, but as far as like the content, it's one of those what content?
Exactly.
Like
and
y'all think Cyberpunk is
on.
bad? Oh no.
Oh, but so I mean, also they showed us a lot, and it was a lot of gameplay, and they didn't have to. We would have gotten hyped off of another random video of some ambiguous, cryptic statement, some chuckling, and a couple of spells being tossed around. But they really gave us they gave us
like true 15 minutes of like gameplay.
Yeah, here are the bosses. We haven't forgot ourselves. Here's the weird, cryptic people that you don't trust, but you probably should trust, but you shouldn't trust.
So
who knows?
So like one of the things that I thought was really interesting about, I mean, at least one of the bosses is like, I think this is the first Souls games where the bosses really like talks, like you see them talking and also talk to you. which I think, we're talking about making like a Souls-like game at some point. I think that to me would be really interesting. Is having the bosses like I don't want to say humanizing bosses, but you're making them more than just they're a boss to be a boss, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you see the crazy armsy guy, and you can tell that like he has so much respect for dragons because he wants to be a dragon, and so he like calls upon like the dragon to, I mean, even though it's kind of dead, to kind of guide him in battle and in life, and even ends up like gaining its power by literally having one arm become a dragon. So exactly. I think that's really cool and really interesting.
Well, and the other thing where I don't think, it's kind of
I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but not
no, I mean,
anyway.
we're spoiling the Days -1 trailer.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think it's dope.
It's good. It's really good.
Below.
I can try to include it. I'll be honest, I'm pretty shit at that. But anyway,
we'll figure it out. But along those lines, you made a very good point where the gaming industry hasn't quite realized that a few little details can take. Let me rephrase things. So normally in like drama or whatever, you have the suspension of disbelief where, if all of a sudden the actor hiccups or the actor, messes up, it breaks your suspension of disbelief. And then you're like, right. Oh yes, I'm not in, Italy with these two lovers. I'm in Philadelphia watching some high school students on a stage.
Only you would say something like that, but sure. Yep.
I was going with Romeo and Juliet and shit. But anyways, all right. So in video games, it's actually the other way around. Because most of the time, everything works out. We suspend our disbelief, but it's a video game. We know, and our brain has been programmed, unless you're playing roguelikes or whatever, if I die, I just respawn and try again. So instead of suspending your disbelief, you have to pull somebody into the, oh my god, this is a real world. So you show up, the boss goes raw, the boss kills you, you try again. You show up, blah, 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 blah. This is Dark Souls in a nutshell. A lot of video games haven't quite realized that you can get a lot of value and remembrance out of taking yourself out of the normal what our brain expects, and instead of suspending our disbelief, you actually enthrall our disbelief. I remember one really cool thing about Oblivion in one of the DLCs is it's stereotypical old video games. There's, characters all over the place. You can smack them, and you can, quick save, pull out your sword, and start, whacking on people because you're bored or whatever. And it's a video game. You're just having a good old time. And it's a video game, and you're not caring, and you're not thinking. It hasn't enthralled you. And if you go up to Seogorak, who's this like god, and you are like, I'm gonna quick save and cast a big spell on you. He literally says like, you, and then gets out of his chair, which is exactly what every other NPC in the entire game has done. And then normally he'll auto kill you if the game's like, don't kill this person. He'll just shoot some super spell and kill you.
Yep.
Or he'll try and fight you. You'll beat him up because you're better than him. It's a damn video game. And then he'll go into, sorry, you can't kill the main character. Blah blah blah.
Lead. Yep.
Exactly. So I was dicking around. It's Oblivion. I'm having a good time. So I'm just like, hey Seo, and then just blast him with my biggest Kamehameha magic ha. And then he gets up. I'm expecting him to like one shot me or die or whatever. And the second he gets up, a spell comes flying at me that I can't dodge. I'm invisible. It finds me anyways. And then all of a sudden, I see all these stars. And I was like, holy shit. It immediately was like, no. You're not playing a game now. We've dragged you into the story kicking and screaming when you weren't expecting it. And all I see is stars. And I'm like, this is weird. Did he, like, am I in outer space or something? And then I start looking around. And then I look down. And there's a floor. And the floor gets bigger. And bigger. And then I realize I'm falling. And I'm sitting here oh shit. He teleported me 10,000 feet in the air and let me just stargaze for a few seconds as I fall to my death, which just so happens to also be a pit of other dead people.
Oh, are you serious?
Brilliant. Exactly. Yeah, you can try it. Attack Seogorath Oblivion DLC. And it was one of those moments where I was like,
this is
crap.
Amazing.
It was, and it just took one dude trying a little harder, putting himself in the player's perspectives and going that extra length.
Yeah.
So along those lines of small little details making, to put video games outside of their video game mode and trying to enwrap you in a story. Honestly, for all of my main characters, I just want to surprise people. If you whip out a sword and try and attack the main super bad guy, initiate a cutscene. Just anything you can do to surprise people and break their
Immersion.
continuous
I don't want to
suspension
say
of
like
disbelief
immersion, but
is sad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And there are times where, a game will tell a story and you'll watch cutscenes. But,
Boom.
stuff.
You heard it here first, folks. We're going to make the best game on the whole freaking planet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We just need to figure out how programming works first.
Hey, I've already signed up for the classes, so...
Dang. Hey, future set. And I am sitting here, I'm like, I have finally come to the realization of I need to stop assuming everyone is doing a good job.
No, I told you that.
I
I literally, in my time in the freaking industry, I have been like, these dumb motherfuckers have no idea what they're doing. They're literally watching motivational tapes to figure out what they should be doing or what some crazy person who got one thing right is telling them to do. And thinking that's right and just doing it. No, it's a sham. It's a total sham. Like, okay, the people who are in college, I'm serious. Listen. Okay. You are doing so much more work than you're actually going to go through in real life. I'm not saying you're not going to put in hours of time, but the caliber of work that you're doing in college vastly exceeds what you're going to be doing in the real world. I'm serious. So be prepared to be disappointed, shocked, sad, aroused, ? And everything in between. Because I'm serious, like grind it out, create your portfolio, but when the real world kicks in and you're like, how are these dumb people in charge? You'll understand. You'll come back to me and be like, Vince, you were right. I cannot believe this is the way the world works. And I'm going to say, it doesn't have to be that way. You can own your own company and do your own thing. And then you're going to go, you're right. And then we're going to make the world a better place.
You're not wrong. Well, the biggest thing and it is very nonsensical, because by definition, when you're going into any job or any industry or anywhere, you're going to be sitting here of, well, time out. Am I the best person in the world? There are people who have done this before me. Why have we not learned from our previous mistakes as a whole? Why is my industry still falling into these same pit traps? Why are there so many inefficiencies? And sometimes it just comes down to, we don't care, and we're not paid to care, and that's that. And then sometimes it does come down to, there's no reason. You should not be coming in with zero experience and doing as well as everybody else. That just makes no sense. You wouldn't expect to do that in basketball or baseball or whatever the hell. But the real life doesn't work like a basketball game. You can show up and just sink some 3-pointers, even though you shouldn't be able to.
Yep.
So, it's one of those, coming out of college, I think you're going to be surprised how easy it is to work hard, do well. Because college is the hard part, where it's very much
college is seriously the hard part. It really is.
It's like, you will grind.
Like, I feel like college makes you feel like college feels like it's only a taste of what's to come, but to me, college is the standard and everything falls below it, if that makes sense.
Well, and there's a lot of human nature in least amount of effort, maximum amount of results, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's efficiency. But the problem with being salaried for 99.9999% of the jobs out there is, well, what do I have to do? Just enough so I don't get fired.
Right.
The end. So if you're in college with the goal of, well, what do I have to do? Just enough not to flunk out, and you're going C, D, 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 that's going to be pretty similar to what the real world is like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I can afford to be 5 days late on this. It's not going to be the end of the world. I'll turn it in later. Sometimes you can just be like, I've got a D in this class. I don't need to turn in the final. And that's just min-maxing your time, blah, blah, blah. So there are some positions in salaried spots where nobody's trying hard, nobody's thinking, optimizing, or whatever. There's a lot of weird inefficiencies that come with that. So in that case, college is a very good example. And there's also the other example of, nah, bitch, there's money on me getting all A's. So then you get to see the kind of unrealistic expectation of I need to do the best. If I'm valedictorian, they're going to literally pay me to live here and study. It's ridiculous. They will throw you money for studying well. So then you go into the real world expecting that same kind of, if I work hard, if I'm the best, I will get acknowledged and I will get paid accordingly in ridiculous returns. And then you find out,
no, it's not
actually,
the case.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the case at all.
Doing the bare minimum, getting salaried, and then also you can go below the bare minimum because a lot of times companies are like, I have extra fixed cost of having to train a new person. There's a percentage chance of a liability from you suing. We can hire somebody else for a fraction of the cost. Blah, 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 blah.
I hate to say it, if you are a very and I don't try hard is just good terminology, but if you are like, I am committed to the grind of I'm going to do the best that I can in college. I want to excel in every area that I physically can. I don't mind spending over 60 plus hours a week studying or applying myself to X, Y, and Z. Don't kick yourself and be like, I've been doing it all wrong, because you're not. But I'm just going to tell you, what you're going to be disappointed in is when you go to a company expecting them to like not only see your work but keep growing you, and in turn it's quite the opposite. You might get a couple free promotions, which is, hey, that's sweet, congratulations, pat yourself on the back, but now you're carrying the work of over 3 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 to 100 staff, and they're coasting on you because you're the one that's ultimately going to get all the rep when they do bad. So, like, if you're going to be a tryhard, be a tryhard, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to be surprised, and then you're going to be like, I'm just going to start my own company so I can pay myself. Or, on the other side of the spectrum, don't try hard. Like, just enjoy life, enjoy everything. That's not a bad thing. I'm saying both of these as positives. Like, they are both positives. Enjoy life, enjoy college, and coast on that, because you have nothing to really worry about. Companies need you. You don't need companies. So just remember that.
Speaking of enjoying life, I have finally broken up with Overwatch.
You snapped that ass disc, bro.
I did. I broke it in half. I did. I lost my damn mind.
You broke it in. Nah, man. I think that is somebody who's like, all right, Temptress, I'm done with you. Be gone, thought.
Well, I finally came to the realization of like, and again, I kind of want to blame our generation because we're all a little not okay in the head. But I am. I was like, why am I playing this game? My numbers are fine. My performance is fine. My growth rate is flattened. Whatever. It is what it is. I should be happy with it. I'm in the X percentage.
I mean, you went from not having a full-time job to having a full-time job. So I don't know what to tell you there, sir.
AKA, how many hours did you put into Overwatch? 500.
Yes.
In a few years.
More than that, actually. I think it was closer to like 900.
Yeah, you are right. You're right. It's might have been in the thousands.
I bet I could look up how many hours are there in a year, and then like subtract whatever the bare minimum is for sleep, and that's close to what you got.
Basically, I got my master's degree in Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, okay.
He was going for the PhD, but
I was. They called me Dr. Blade.
Doctor.
I just said my blade is ready and Merry Christmas for 4 years. But I finally came to the realization of like, well, because there were so many times I'm like, why am I playing this game? I'm not actually enjoying myself. And you're just looking for that dopamine hit of somebody else being like, ooh, that motherfucker's badass. Oh, he carried. Oh, he's so good. Which I'm telling you is vain as fuck, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. So then I was just like, this is not gonna happen. It's a damn video game. Even when you get those moments of, oh, that dude's a badass, you don't even get to see half of them because you've also got to have the
Morty.
That was a deep one. Pardon. Excuse me.
He summoned Satan.
Demon possession goes on the stack. Anyways,
Pray continue.
That one meme, it's like me trying to pronounce the furniture at IKEA. The demon I just summoned, the IKEA employee.
That's so
freaking
good.
out.
That's
Oh, that was
so
amazing.
good. Oh,
I don't know
so
who came up with
funny.
that meme. The amount
So
of hours
funny.
it took for them to find those 3 reactions of, what is that? To, what the hell am I doing?
What the
oh
hell
my
am I?
fucking god!
Yep. It's so good. It's
Oh,
so
anyways,
good.
Overwatch sucks because our base, we're just trying to get that like human camaraderie, respect, feeling of admiration, which I feel also runs true with anybody who's on Instagram who's like, I need more followers, I need more likes, I can quantify my worth, value, pedigree as a human being, etc.
Yeah, because you're right.
dopamine hit of
You
success.
want the dopamine of the yes. People have acknowledged me. Look at the amount of followers that I have. Boom. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I just came to the point where I was like, this is not actually fun. There were some other bullshits as well. So then I eventually just swapped over to Warhammer, where I get to, go against people in person. And already off the rip, I'm not screaming obscenities at my Xbox for no reason. I'm not this rage ball of monkey rage going, where's my dopamine? Fuck you all! I blame you for my lack of dopamine!
Yep. More toasties. Yep.
More toasties. No, do not Google more toasties. Don't.
They will never know where that's from.
This is the
or like
only warning you will receive.
A select few will know where that's from. Don't look that up.
No one will understand where that's from. The 2000s was a dark place that shouldn't be revisited.
Very early 2000s. Yeah. Oh, golden but dark era.
No. It was horrible, dude. It's horrible.
Don't look up.
Wait. Is that where the Beetlecock came from?
Yes.
Have we even listened to Beetlecock? That's got to be it. How many other Beetlecocks could there possibly
be? There was a reason that came up. I don't know.
Well, then they are Beatles
because
as
of
well.
that. They are Beatles because they made good doctors. So
exactly, Beatles make good doctors. But it's got to be Beetlecock.
No, they're gonna totally know where that's from now. I mean, like they're gonna Google it. Oh, they're doomed. I already know.
And clenched their butt cheeks in
you and I have already gone through the emotional trauma that is that series, so it doesn't matter. But these poor saps.
We must have explained it. It's in our.
I don't think we did, because now they're gonna look up Human Centipede and then they're gonna go woof. So
this is the internet. There are things we shouldn't see and hidden truths we should not know.
This is the price we pay for unlimited freedom. So, all right, everyone listening,
it's been great.
We love you. You're our number one fans. If you make a mixtape, add us, and we will follow, like, and subscribe.
Patreon people, if you hate farmers, we will nano blade the shit out of those complacent Bubkins.
And on that bombshell, we're out of here.
Deuces, love y'all.